Why would you do that?
We're in the endgame now.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Avengers 4, which is currently called Endgame. No, it's not actually going to change. So, it's called Avengers EndGame, which is referring to a chess movement, which means you're going to sacrifice some people in order to win. So, let's get into this video. So, now the trailer is out, been out for a bunch of time. I've gone through all my video comments on the 2 trailer breakdowns I went through and the community tab questions. And the most common question is, who is going to save Tony Stark? Now, the way they cut the first trailer by saying he ran out of food 4 days ago and he's going to run out of oxygen tomorrow, it's trying to make you think that Tony Stark will be dying. And the way Nebula touches Tony Stark, you know, the shot in the trailer where she's touching something, which is most likely Tony Stark, it makes you think that either he's unconscious or is actually dead, because through that whole scene there is a love letter to Pepper Potts, acting like he's accepted death. He thinks he's going to die. So I think everything in the first trailer is going to have to happen in the first 30 minutes of the actual movie. So he's run out of food, mainly due to Thor taking all the food. So if he does die temporarily, it's due to Thor. So there's a bunch of ideas of what could be going on. Now, there is a scenario, I guess you could say, where if Tony Stark did die, then either someone with a time stone, but that couldn't really happen because Thanos got it. You could say that Ant-Man goes to a universe or appears in a universe where Tony Stark's dead. He finds out what happened, and then obviously he goes back in time and warns everyone where Tony Stark is. He's not actually too far from Earth, really. He's on Titan, which is quite close to Sakaar, quite close to Hala, really, on the map, if you look at the MCU map. So he's not too far away from Earth. So if that is the case, Ant-Man could actually, in theory, save him in some shape or form. So say he comes out of time vortex, he's in a universe where Tony Stark is dead, and then he realizes that Tony Stark is the only one who can save the universe. He could go back through a time vortex and pop to a time before Tony Stark ran out of oxygen, I guess you could say. And I guess the most likely scenario, if this was the case, and I don't really think it's going to be the case, but we might as well go over a bunch of ideas, is he can notify Pepper Potts, and then she could use the rescue suit to go and find him, because he's obviously floating somewhere around Titan. I don't think he's too far off Titan, because it doesn't really explain where exactly he is. He's just floating in space. So he'd be somewhere between Titan, I guess, and Hala, somewhere in that region. Some people have said that he's in like Nanavir, but I don't really think he is, because that's quite far away from like Titan, to be honest, if you look on the map. So the most common idea going around is that it's actually going to be the strongest Avenger, Captain Marvel, who will save Tony Stark. So let's say she's still with the Kree in Hala. That is pretty close to Titan. Now, the reason I don't think it's Captain Marvel going to be saving her, because Captain Marvel is going to be the new face of the MCU. Tony Stark is the old face of the MCU. So are they really going to introduce you to the new face of MCU so fast inside Avengers 4? Well, potentially. Potentially they could do that. It would make the most sense if Captain Marvel was going to be one to save Tony Stark, seeing as she got a pager message from her boy Nick Fury at the end of Infinity War in the post-credit scene. So she's going to have to be seen receiving the message, then react. And in the comics, she does have cosmic awareness. So if she's on her way back to Earth, she would have to kind of go off course, because I'll overlay the map right now. If you look at the map, then she would have to go the wrong way to get back to Earth, so to speak. But she's got cosmic awareness, so well, at least she has it in the comic book. So she would have to kind of be aware of everything around her. So most likely it would either be Captain Marvel, who is the most likely candidate, but So then again, it really could be Ant-Man notifying like Pepper. Like, I suppose you could say it could go down like that. Can't really see it going down like that. Like, Thor could be the one to save her as well, because obviously with the Stormbreaker, he can open up breaches so he can teleport to literally anywhere. But can he fly in space? That is the question. To my knowledge, Thor can't fly in space. I'm pretty sure we've never seen him inside the MCU fly in space. He's opened a breach from one Earth to another unit, like from Earth to Asgard and stuff like that, from wherever he was down to Wakanda. But he's never actually been seen flying in space in the MCU. Yes, he was floating around after Thanos attacked the ship, but that's not the same thing as flying around. He was unconscious when that's happening. So also in the kind of theory, I guess you could say, Rocket Raccoon could actually be another candidate. But like I say, it all depends if they can actually find where he is, because he wasn't on the screen in the first trailer. So is anyone actually even looking for him? Now it's a bit strange, because if Nebula's on the same ship as him, she's an android, she's a robot, so couldn't she figure a way to contact someone on Earth to come find her, send a distress signal, which is kind of weird how they haven't done it. But remember, Marvel lie to us. They do. They lie. So this is very misleading. Your boy Tony Stark isn't going to die. Well, at least he isn't going to die in the first 20 minutes of the film. But if it is the case, I think Captain Marvel will be the most likely candidate to get to him, something like that, just after he's been unconscious. Then whoever rescues him, most likely Captain Marvel. Let me know down below, guys, who you think it is. I think it's going to be Captain Marvel, but it could be Thor, it could be literally anyone who has OP powers, and then they take him back down to Earth, and then suddenly he kind of is conscious again. So that is most likely going to be the scenario. But like I say, Marvel manipulate their subscription users. I mean, if you watch a Marvel movie, you are a subscription user because you're paying a service to watch a movie, essentially. So you pay Marvel, in other words. But why do I say that? So Endgame wasn't the title, according to the directors. The most likely title, the most similar title, was Avengers Forever, which Avengers Forever absolutely sounds nothing like Endgame. Avengers Forever Endgame sounds nothing alike. And you gotta remember, they set up the Wakanda scene with Hulk running, which cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars for that few seconds clip, you know, the iconic one that raged people out because he was in that, but he wouldn't Hulk out in Wakanda. So Marvel are known for lying. They also said that Loki is definitely dead at the Q&A for the special Infinity War screening in LA. I think it's about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks back now. And I'm thinking, I'm really questioning every single thing they've said during an interview because they lied about the title. I understand they didn't want the title to get out, but let's be honest, Endgame, does it really give away that much? Not really. And I keep coming back to this same quote from Stephen McFeel, who said, "No one knows anything about Avengers 4. I read the stories online, I read the theories, and you've got no idea what is coming." So to be honest, guys, I'm loving seeing all these ideas in the comment section and all the other various things that pop up on like from comic book websites. But really, it's interesting because like there's like 10 different theories for who's going to save Captain Tony Stark, because I guess he is a captain now because he's on do you get it? He's on the ship, so he's the captain of the ship, because it wouldn't be Nebula, it would be him, I guess you could say. Or would it be her? Because she'd probably be the more experienced flight pilot, I guess. Okay, yeah, she's probably got more experience flying than him. But it is interesting how you can't actually trust Marvel. But it is fascinating because it's now December, nearly Christmas, I guess you could say, in 2 weeks. We've got to May the 26th to come up with conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I know people are going to say in the comment section, but you're wrong. But yeah, it's still compelling, it's still interesting, it still engages people into conversation. Of course, 99% of theories to do with movies are wrong. They really are wrong. So it doesn't really matter if you're right or wrong, to be honest, because everyone's going to go, Captain Marvel's going to save her. But realistically, it could be Thor who ends up saving her. It could be Valkyrie, because Valkyrie's gone somewhere with the other Asgardians. But then again, Valkyrie was confirmed to be alive, but then the Endgame title was confirmed not to be the title. So you can see where I'm coming from. It's really hard to trust Marvel. But that essentially is kind of good, because they don't give away spoilers unless they want to on purpose. because if you remember, Mark Ruffalo went on that TV show, and if the person that decrypted the message said the last Avengers. Now, why would they do that? That's cheeky marketing, wanting to spell the title away from being Endgame. You know, everyone was going mad in the comment section. It's Annihilation. A really good source said it's Annihilation. And then it comes out and it's actually Endgame. So it makes me laugh because I kept saying the title isn't going to be Annihilation. It isn't going to be Annihilation. It's all right saying the title was Annihilation and Infinity Gauntlet and also Endgame, but unless you actually physically are Kevin Feige or Bob Iger or someone very high up in the Marvel hierarchy, you're never going to know what that actual title was, if they even changed it, because Doctor Strange said, "We're now in Endgame, baby." Well, he didn't say baby, but as soon as he said that, everyone called it. And I've seen a bunch of people saying, yeah, I called it. But it's like, yeah, but you also called it everything else under the sun. So it's pretty funny how the first theory, everyone walked out of cinema after watching Avengers Infinity War thinking, yeah, the next movie is called Endgame. So like, it was kind of stupid of them, I guess, to put the Endgame in there, but they put Endgame title in Age of Ultron as well when Tony Stark said, yeah, up there, that is Endgame. So guys, let me know in the comment box down below. I'm pretty sure it will be Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, Brie Larson. Why? Because they want you to love her. What better way to love her? Get her to save Tony Stark. And she is OP. She can fly. None of the other Avengers can technically fly by themselves without using armor. I don't count Falcon putting some armor on because War Machine, he's irrelevant. Falcon's irrelevant. If you can't fly without you wearing some armor, that doesn't really count. So technically, Falcon could also save her. War Machine could. Everyone under the sun could save Tony Stark, to be honest. But I think it's going to be Captain Marvel because she is absolutely OP, and I can't wait to see her go Super Saiyan. So let me go, guys. Do you trust Marvel? Do you trust everything Marvel have ever said? Are you going through every single Infinity War Q&A, every single Infinity War with the Russo brothers interviews now, questioning, thinking, yeah, but you said it wasn't Endgame. But you said it wasn't Endgame. Yeah, you're saying it wasn't Hulk, it was Loki. That theory, when everyone said that Loki described himself as Hulk, could be true because they said Endgame. It's not Endgame, it's Avengers Forever. Okay, Avengers Forever and Endgame sound absolutely nothing alike, guys. Anyway, let me know down below who is going to save Tony Stark. And remember, guys, I am doing a giveaway very soon. I'm going to be giving away another Infinity War Blu-ray tomorrow, or Deadpool Super Duper 2, or Ant-Man Wasp. All you gotta do is comment down below who is your favorite superhero, or actually comment down below who is going to save Tony Stark, and I will pick a winner and then announce it on a video tomorrow. Anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.